Hi, my name is Alana Carrisforth and welcome to the second video in my series on videos about pronunciation for the IELTS speaking test. So just to quickly recap what I discussed in the first video, I talked about the basic areas of pronunciation that the IELTS examiner will look for, and I summarised these into the consistent use of a range of pronunciation features used correctly and how effortlessly a candidate can be understood. If you check out my first video, I discussed this at greater length. I also discuss what is meant by the term pronunciation features and divided these into individual sounds or phonemes, word stress and sentence stress, rhythm and intonation. Again, I discussed these at greater length in the first video. So, in this video I'd like to continue looking at the phonetics and phonology of British English, and in this video I'd like to look at diphthong sounds and how they are pronounced in British English. The last video I looked at vowels, today I'm looking at diphthongs. And you can download the British Phonemic Chart from bestieltsonline.com if you'd like. It's on the right hand side at the bottom in the links section. So when we're thinking about diphthongs, really we're thinking about two vowel sounds that are connected. So we've got to consider three factors when we're thinking about how we produce diphthongs. First of all, the mouth and the movement of the mouth. Is it open or closed? And does it move from open to close or close to open, etc.? So does the jaw begin low or high? Does it end low or high, etc.? And we have to think about the lips. Are they spread or rounded? And do they change during the sound? And finally, we've got to think about the movement of the tongue position from front to back or back to front, etc. So let's jump in and start looking at diphthongs. As I said before, diphthongs are basically two vowel sounds that if you say them quickly enough, they connect into one sound. For example, the first sound on this list is ear, 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 as in beer. And ear is basically made up of two vowel sounds. It's I and U. Now to produce this sound ear, I suggest you look back at the vowel sounds in the last video and become quite comfortable with them. But I'm going to think about the movement of the mouth and lips and tongue for diphthongs. In ear, the mouth starts relatively closed and becomes more open, so the jaw drops. The lips go from spread to rounded, and the tongue moves from the front of the mouth to the middle of the mouth. Ear. The next sound is a, make. And that's A is basically the two vowel sounds A and I, and they join to become A. So in this sound the mouth begins half open and moves to half closed. The lips are relatively spread throughout the whole of the sound, and the tongue moves from the front of the mouth just slightly further back, so still at the front but a bit less front, if you know what I mean. Okay, the next sound I'd like to look at is ur, as in tour, tour, tour. This sound is made up of and Now the mouth begins relatively closed in this sound and becomes more open throughout the sound. The lips are rounded but become slightly less rounded throughout the sound, and the tongue moves from the back of the mouth to the middle of the mouth. Tour. Okay, the next one I want to look at is oi, 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 as in boy, boy. And this sound is made up of o and I, and o and I said together in rapid succession become oi, oi. Now in this sound the mouth begins open for o and moves to closed for I, oi, oi. So the jaw moves up throughout this diphthong. The lips begin rounded, o, and they move to spread, I, oi. And the tongue moves from the back of the mouth to the front of the mouth. Okay, next sound is o, 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 as in boat, o, boat. And this diphthong is made up of the two vowel sounds and o. The mouth begins half closed and becomes more closed throughout the sound. The lips become more rounded throughout the sound, and the tongue moves from the centre of the mouth to the back of the mouth. Okay, next sound is air, 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 as in there, there. Okay, this diphthong air is made up of two vowel sounds, and and So the mouth is basically half open throughout the whole of the sound. Sort of stays the same. So, the lips go from being spread to more rounded, air, air, and the tongue moves from the front of the mouth to the centre of the mouth. Okay, the next sound is I, as in the word I. And this sound is made up of a and I, a and I, a and I. So the mouth goes from open to closed, I, I. The lips stay spread throughout the whole of the sound, and the tongue is always at the front of the mouth. So there's not much movement throughout this whole sound. Finally, we've got ow, 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 as in brown. Again, we're going ow, 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 ow. The mouth moves from open to closed. The lips go from spread to rounded, and the tongue moves from the front of the mouth to the back of the mouth. Ow, brown. And that's the end of the diphthongs. There are only 8 diphthongs. Thank you for watching today. I hope you practice these diphthongs, and I really suggest that you watch video number 1 to get comfortable with producing the vowel sounds, and then you understand what we're talking about to do with mouth movement, lips movement, tongue movement. I also suggest that you practice this in front of a mirror. And it is embarrassing at first, but it's really worth it just to see what your mouth is doing. Practice with a speaking partner if possible. Talk to native speakers. If you've got a teacher, that's absolutely great. And all the best for your IELTS test. Thank you for watching. Bye.